Stress Adaptation Growth Model by Claudia Gonzalez and Camila Valdez. The author of this theory is Dr. Young Kim. She is a professor at the University of Oklahoma. She was born and raised in Seoul, Korea, until she moved to the United States for her studies. This theory originated for her doctoral thesis. It was drawn based on her personal interest in understanding the adaptive struggles and success that she and other immigrants had. She addressed the issue through a survey of Korean immigrants in Chicago. This model is for explaining how the cultural adaptation works. This experience happens in a spiral process, and it's a dynamic process of human nature struggle for an internal equilibrium in an adverse environment. This means that it is the process of personal development. It also explains that there are two interrelated concepts, acculturation and deculturation. These concepts relate because new responses are adopted in situations where the person used to evoke old ones. Through this process, there is stress. There is an identity conflict due to the resistance to change, the instinct to retain old habits. There are moments of crisis, revealed in emotional lows of confusion. It is the desire to gain emotional homeostasis again. This period of stress passes as an individual works out new ways to solve problems. This is called stress adaptation growth dynamic. It is the psychological movement of the forward and upward directions of increased changes of success in the new environment. The graph shows a drawback to a leap pattern. Stressful experiences happen, there's a drawback. Second, adaptive energy helps them to reorganize and leap forward. And third, large and sudden changes tend to occur during the initial phase of exposure to a new culture. Over time, the changes become less intense. The main idea of this theory is that cross-cultural adaptation is an individual's ability to communicate in accordance to the norms and practice of the local culture. Lies in the success of adaptation. The individual will go through a stressful situation initially to grow and adapt. The epistemology of this theory is a subjective or emic approach. The author created based on her own experience. Then she conducted research based on other Korean immigrants. Ontology has a realism approach. It believes that there is only one truth of how the process of cultural adaptation works. Ontology also can be generalized for anyone who is suffering a cross-cultural adaptation process with a stress adaptation model. The axiology for this theory is ethics, since it is applied to human actions. In this theory, what is supposed to be good is to have a bad experience and stress, while what is supposed to be bad is to isolate and no adaptation. Our cousin traveled to Tulsa, in the United States due to her studies. At first, she lived alone in a very big house with a host family. She felt very lonely and had no one to understood her, and she wanted to come back to Ecuador. She felt homesick. Later on, as time passed, she made new friends who helped her to fit in and to adapt herself into her new life. Now she lives permanently in the US and is like her second home. The stress that she had at first let her open her mind to the new culture and grow personally into it.